We are so back. Welcome back. Tyler Talks. I'm going to talk a lot. It has been a minute. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year's. I hope the holidays were great for you. Mine were good. Relaxing, different this year. We didn't travel as much, but I got a lot of stuff to go over. I'm not going to get all into that. Thank you, Mr. Hendricks, for doing the card swap. I got a Mason. Well, I had the envelope in there, but I can't reach it. I had Mason. I'm not going to give last name because we're on YouTube. But thank you for sending me what you did. Actually, a couple of the cards you sent me are staples in some of these decks I'll be showing today. So I have been on a hiatus, but still been in the lab. I can't help it. I love deck building. I have been working a lot on the next set, and it is so good. It really is. Listen to the podcast. They make fun of IR every day. Love you, John. Love you, Jake. But I don't mind at all. And then Inheritance, and I did the whole article. That's something else I did. I was on Jaden's channel, and then I released an article as well separately from Jaden's channel. Sorry, I made that sound like it was together. So I wrote an article. What have I learned? I put some fun cards out there that I made with some rules of redemption that I try to incorporate that I've made for myself. Wrote a lengthy article, and then was doing like an honest kind of inner check. See where have I come? What do I need to be still doing? Just making sure the game card design's in a good spot. And then also was on Jaden's channel, and I was making decks there and playing. And then I've been in the lab cooking up decks. And my friend actually told me that one of my longtime friends, he was like, "Hey, you're 99 videos on your channel. Your next one's 100." Man, so reached out to a couple people. Thought maybe like Jade and I can do a different type of video where we're playing like a different category. I don't mean like type 1, type 2. I mean like we're playing type 1 but a different format. And it's just going to be hard right now with my schedule to coordinate that. And I've been making a lot of decks, and I've really focused on this one deck style, and I wanted to show it. So this is my 100th video, and I'm going to show multiple decks today. These decks are very complex. I've been showing a lot of very complex decks lately, and not lately, but the last videos on my channel. So these are more complex, but I'll go through what we're looking to do. And I put all 3 decks on Discord before I did these videos. And then, I've been working on the new set, promos as well. Working with the team on getting some really cool promos out there. I'm all over the place. That's why I talked about IR and then where the new set is. So Israel's Rebellion, first set, me learning, Inheritance, learning more, applying what I've learned, try to get the set into a strong, competitive, healthy set. And then taking all that and going into the next set, it's so good. I'm really excited for that. That'll change everything. Baboony, it'll force you off nativity. Sorry. Maybe not. But maybe it'll force you off nativity. Not that I'm not sorry. But so I'm really excited. I've been working on that a lot. The team's been in there, but I wanted to take my time and make sure I had a block set aside for this video because I'm going to be going over a lot of things. So without further ado, what have I been working on? What am I doing? So I'm going to get some coffee first. So it's Christmas till February with me. So what are we doing here? I have made so many versions of this deck. Don't worry about the defense. It's something I'm trying. I'll touch on it barely, and then I'll go into it in another video. And kind of more of like a defensive video with what you can do. So what am I trying to do? All the ways to David. And it's funny because we don't really have a ton of new cards like Inheritance cards in here. We're using all sorts of stuff. But this is how I kind of see redemption, where we're trying to punish brigades, and yet I can take the just best of the best and somehow put them together, and it all works, or it's supposed to. Hypothetical, theoretically, that's all we do on this channel anyway. So what are we doing? We're trying to get to the big David, not COVID. That's long gone, Wuhan. So we're trying to get to David. We got a lot of ways to David, and I flipped them because it looked cool going from white to red. So we get the ways to David, right? How many ways to David do we have? Well, we have David being one. We have throne of David. We can just take. I don't want to mess up how everything's laid out right now, but we have crowd's choice. We have second coming. I would use it to get David if needed. We have mayhem to help. I go back and forth on if that should be shipwreck. I do not like Herod's Temple when I play against this, and thieves. So I need like a choice to a woes, or I don't know why I said thieves. I don't like playing against thieves with this deck, but that doesn't have anything to do with Herod's Temple. So I like having shipwreck as that second. But Mayhem's helping with consistency, but I have a lot of enhancements, even though they're territory class and covenants. So I'm still back and forth on that. We have no evil enhancements, so Mayhem helps in that regard. It balances out the ratios. I'm going to talk fast, y'all. So yeah, we have a lot of ways to David. Covenant with David can get Land of Moab, which is another way to David, or it can just straight up, you can activate it and take a king from deck. And let's see. Delivered could activate Covenant with David in a pinch. Offering Sun can get Covenant with David in a pinch. Or just if you need it. Intervening with of Prophecies, top 7. We have Faith as well. Lawless can help us get Crowd's Choice. We have all the soul stuff to where we can underdeck and draw one and get one. I don't think we have any sort of top deck, a hero or something. Yeah, and then I think I said Faith, and then we have Emmaus Road, Virgin Birth to help. So everything is pretty much for the enhancements and the support to get David. We need two pieces. We need David and we need Song of Moses. So we have Song of Moses, Crowd's Choice, Virgin Birth, Intervening of Prophecy. Emmaus Road could get us to Delivered or Offering Your Son, but we would have to wait a turn or attack differently. We could still do it. And then, of course, David's Harp. So we don't have as many ways to Song of Moses in this build, but it's still pretty solid. I'll do a run through of the video. I probably won't get a turn 1 because I've been goldfishing and I've been getting everything turn 1. I just assume. I'm being pessimistic, y'all. It's a new year. So what are we doing with Song of Moses? We're obviously getting heroes out, but you're giving heroes to the opponent as well. Song of Moses nets you 5 heroes without adding any to the battle, without adding any numbers. I say all that because more than likely you could still have initiative. There's 1/1 heroes in white. There's very low numbers in white, so you could definitely keep initiative with Song of Moses. That's why I don't like Herod's Temple. But even though you give them 5 heroes, we're trying to just subdued or turn 2 unsuccessful, or I'll show you. I don't want to get too much into the defense. We're just trying to do a couple chumps. But these offenses right now, these top level decks, are already getting all their heroes. And some decks like Clay that doesn't string everything together, they play more of like a 1 or 2 heroes in battle, and then they'll play an Ascension. Like, sure, they want their heroes. They're going to get them anyway. Nativity's going to get its heroes anyway. Joshua for sure is going to get its heroes. So yeah, we give them a boost, but what do we do with that boost? So I think Song of Moses has been just not looked at for the simple sake of they don't get to search their deck. Or they get to search their deck, I'm sorry, for 5 heroes. So it's just not really played. But I'm going to try to change all that. So we're trying to get David and Song of Moses. David will then get Marriage Covenant. We play Song of Moses, and we have Marriage Covenant in our hand. So we'll just keep this over here. What do we do with Song of Moses? Well, assuming we did not draw a single hero, usually we'll have one or two. We're heavy heroes. What do we try to do? And we have a lot of things we can do. I play a lot of heroes. I have ways to heroes, so usually I have a lot out. And I'll show you that in the video. But what can we do with this? Like, yeah, I'm showing you like 10 heroes, but this thing moves. So Marriage Covenant always bans to Old Testament heroes. So how do I get all these guys? How do I get, Simeon and Martha in here? So what I do is, depending on who I have in my hand, like I don't have to shuffle Marriage Covenant. Righteous Seeker is an Old Testament hero that bans to a hero. So that's one way to get Martha or Simeon in here. And then Jehu exchanges to a non-royal. So that's the other way. So if you haven't seen already, I am trying to eradicate the opponent's hand turn 1. Also why I want this to be Shipwreck. A lot of builds I go back with Wander. Wander sometimes stays in, and I'll take out like a Darkness, but Darkness helps me get Jehu in this build, but I could take out Darkness and go Disoriented. Take out Mayhem for Shipwreck. We're really making sure that we're hitting the hand protection. Because if we play Babooni, we can't really play this, He's got hand protection everywhere, and that's for good reason. Like, if this onslaught hits you, you're not blocking. So I'm trying to ban a lot of heroes. At first, I really don't feel the need to have Aminadab. He's just a nice to have. Aminadab, a nice to have. So what I try to do is have a couple heroes down already through searching, speed, drawing, all this stuff. And I like Jehu down in territory and Simeon as well. But we search for 5 heroes. You can mix and match depending on what you have. But we're trying to band everyone in. So what we do is Zerubbabel will come out, get you your 2. Eliud will discard an evil card from their hand. Jeremiah will look at their hand and toss the next. If you think you can hit their hand enough, you don't need Jeremiah, or if you Emmaus Road. And I'm keep putting heroes over here to show you what we don't always need. If it's turn 1 and you're hitting their hand for this many cards, you don't need Jeremiah. He's just really nice to have. And we put down Jehu and Simeon and Martha in territory. And we hope for 2 of these heroes in our hand and on our draw 3. We bring in Hananiah and Righteous Seeker. So before we activate Zerubbabel, we activate Zerubbabel. Don't draw 2 if you're going to lose hand advantage. If not, if you're going to lose hand advantage, just convert them, and then get Eliud in there. If you already have Eliud down, you don't need to search for him or anything. Zerubbabel just can ban to him, which is nice. But what we're doing is we're getting a potential draw 2 if we can keep underhand advantage of my opponent, discarding an evil card from their hand. Hananiah is going to equip Jehu's sword from deck if a Purple King's in play, because we played King Jehu off a Song of Moses. He's going to equip King Jehu, and then he's going to ban to an OT Red Warrior. So you can ban to King Jehu, and that will get you Simeon or Martha, whichever. Righteous Seeker is going to ban to the other. I always bring in Simeon first. You got to know which exchanging heroes and banding. First, you need to do your initial band, and then banders that band, their ability then activates. So it's complex. Don't shy away from it though. If you want to build it, I would go into it. I think sometimes people get overwhelmed with redemption because they don't bother trying and they don't build decks creatively and they don't go into the reg. Um, I tend to stay away from ruling questions because it's just like this. It's nonstop questions, and questions are good, but I like when people go in and look for it themselves. Look first. Look for your answer. Hey, this is what I saw. Like a lot of times I see these questions, you can just go to the reg and do a control F and just kind of see where the answer is. So I'm on a tangent, as I always do. Merry Christmas. So yeah, we bring all these people in, right? So how many heroes do I want? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then maybe um, if we get Jehu, then we want Martha. And if we have, because let's say we draw no heroes, we only got David, then my 5 I would probably get would be these, because I could discard an evil hand. They would have to discard an evil card from their hand, reserve an evil card from their hand. I equip Jehu, I put them in SI, and they have to get rid of another card in their hand. That's really good. Or I say, you know what? It's a lone evil character. I'm just gonna bring in Jeremiah and the Dab. The Dab is what I said. That sounded weird. So I bring in Aminadab and Jeremiah, and I can still do other things. So I can still discard an evil card from their hand, or Elliot forces them to. I said or territory. This is turn 1, so I don't know how much they have in territory, especially if they block. And then I can bring in like Elisha, I can bring in Noah, just stuff like that. And I don't bounce David. It'd be nice to have a way to bounce David, which really would be the gray enhancement, because I can, reduce all hand sizes by 1, and then so I could get the bounce. That's not bad. David being able to take a hero, one of my OT heroes, is also big. So you can mix and match based on what you need. The defense, I'm trying to just get a quick like subdued block or a quick Balam block chump. And then I want to do a David and go into like a ride on with David's harp and go into a Lord Goes Before You. And if they're playing ult, and then I like Moab, and I can do Moab and band all your guys in, and then they're all gone with Lord Goes Before You. Or I can go Moab, I get to exchange a card from hand, and I play Not Your Possession, and I play that in a side battle. So you don't get to attack for 2 turns, and it goes right back to my turn. So even if you block me, you draw 3, it comes back to me. I'm going to do an entire deck on this. I do it, I feel like, every year with David, Brothers Conflict, Lord Goes Before You, right on, go right into that side battle and just devastate them in a side battle. The other thing is, like, well, why don't you use stuff here? I'm trying to really just get like a 1 Moab block where I do Destroying Bands and band in all my guys and your hand's gone. Or I do that on a side battle. So I just come in with I just go in on a side battle, Destroying Bands, your hand's gone with Moabs. I'm going to do a separate video where I tune this defense. Right now I don't really care about the defense. I'm trying to show this offensive concept. I'm still tweaking it. I don't need all these evil characters. We can do more with less with this defense. Faith can get Faith of Samuel. Emmaus Road can get the rest. David's Harp can get Royal Parade, Banner of Love. Emmaus Road gets Gathered Together, First Sacrifice, I Am Has Sent Me. Like I said, Faith gets Faith of Samuel. So my enhancements in my main deck can also be used to get my reserve, as well as Harp and all that. So it turns into the power because right now this is a heavy band deck. I hit you first turn with all my heroes, and then I go into the band. So we'll do a quick run. And like I said, I want to get it turn 1. I would love to not go first here because I would love to negate souls, whatever they're doing, and top deck a good fortress from deck. Now I know I'm getting David, even though I knew I had David with Land of Moab. Land of Moab can get me Moab, Balak, Balaam. So if I'm negating Lost Souls, I'm negating their Lost Souls, and I'm negating their Hopper. So they would have to do like star cards to put something in my territory in order to generate, or they would have to attack with a character that could do it. I'm not seeing a lot of that right now, especially turn 1. It can be difficult. So I feel good if I got to go second right now. That it's essentially just a draw 3 for me. Like if I won the die roll, you go first, I negate Lost Souls, get my David, and essentially just get a free draw 3. So now we kind of got what we're looking for. I can discard an evil card from hand to draw 1. I'm going to do that all day. Now we have Jehu. So if put in play by an opponent's special ability, or if you have no evil characters in territory when drawn, we did draw it, you may take or play an evil character from deck or reserve. So I will take Jehu. And now we kind of see, did I not do my Throne of David? The whole point of doing that was to top deck it. Did I miss it? Something? We're just going to cheat. Grab David. We were supposed to show both. And we were supposed to do it this way. That's one of those things where I had it ready to go, and then I saw another card, and it messed me up. I do that in real games, too, at Nationals all the time. So I was supposed to take David from deck, then do Offering Your Son, which would have not been Amenadab, would have been something else. So we'll do this correct. We took David, I shuffled, we discarded Sabbathbreaker to draw 1. So these are done, put them back, and then we got Jehu. I don't know when I bumped my mic. So the whole time, not the whole time, We're going to move you. Microphone, you're a liability. I got to get a better stand for you. I need to stand like up here. Okay. I don't think it was that long. Pretty much we put down Moab. We stopped the clock. I said I was going to hover over you at a tournament. You got to hurry up and do this stuff because we've been searching a very long time. Moab, Balak, Balaam, they all come down. Put down Eglon. Put down David. Put down Jehu. Noah. We go to offering your son. We get the harp. We don't activate the harp yet. We put down Throne of David, Simeon. We're doing this quick in a tournament. Zerubbabel, we're playing Son of God. We wouldn't take our hopper. We would take something else that they have out there. We play Mayhem. We get the 6. And this is what I'm talking about, where you just get everything in this deck. We turn David's harp over. We get Song of Moses. We equip Jehu. And at this point, Gabe and I are telling you, move into battle. And we say, sure, because we always do the same thing. We flip them, and guess what? We already have Marriage Covenant. So what do I need to grab? Don't matter. Any Old Testament hero. They block. Psalm it up. I don't even think I need Song of Moses, but we just got out 4 heroes. Because that's all we had. So that was turn 1. We're at 16 cards left. If they play anything, I can interrupt it. Now, they can do a thief. Like, I don't like thieves. They can't prevent the next. So plunderers, I don't care about. But a condemned thief, that messes me up. Herods mess me up. So there's just some things need to be mindful of. Woman of the Best. There's a lot of things in the meta right now that do mess this up. But we still, like, there's only so much that they can do. We have enough counters, and we could build in more if needed. So now we can band in everyone. And what we're going to do is move this throne out of the way. So any number of Old Testament heroes. We need to keep a hero to the side for Jehu, which that's going to be Martha. We need to keep... We can't bring in Simeon because he's not Old Testament. Everyone else we can bring in. We don't have to... yeah, it doesn't matter. This cannot be negated. So I just got all my heroes from my deck. We don't need to prevent cards. So I'm going to move everyone to the left as I activate them. We don't need to prevent cards. We can just shuffle Marriage Covenant back. We could look at their hand and toss the next. We can bounce them. We have David's meek, so we can bounce them. And we can do Zerubbabel. We can draw 2. Remember, we have 3 cards in their hand, so we got to make sure, because we played Mayhem, if they had 8 cards in hand, and I bounced an evil card, so we should be good to draw and keep their hand advantage. They got to discard an evil card from hand or territory. Because it's turn 1, but they got to go, it could be an evil card in their territory. Hananiah doesn't do anything because we already equipped Jehu. We can look at their hand and first we want to discard an evil enhancement from opponent's deck, and then we can reveal a hand, which you could always reveal yours to get CBN enhancements, especially when Balaam can get it back. Like if you don't need your crowd's choice, or it's like, yeah, I'll get my woes on a block, you could shuffle. We just don't really need a ton of that right now for Elisha. We just really want to shuffle Evil Dominance. Honestly, the main thing is we want to pop an enhancement from their deck. And then we go Righteous Seeker to Simeon. And Jehu to Martha. Oh gosh, I gotta set this up better. At that point, what do? We toss the next, we bounce them, discard evil card from their hand or territory, discard an evil enhancement from their deck, shuffled their evil dominance potentially, underdecked an evil card from their hand, hit them with King Jehu, hit them with Jehu's sword, Martha. It's pretty good. So that's our first attack, right? We discard Song of Moses, and we're good. If we need to do some sort of block here, they're going to try to draw. So like a Foreign Wives, I just main deck it. This deck hates Queen T, but we're not seeing Queen T. So we could also do a Moab, like we can do an exchange block, exchange a card to reserve, and just go to unsuccessful. It's if your Moabite blocks, you may exchange a card from hand with an OT enhancement from reserve. Evil OT enhancement. So we can get a block out of that. We'll draw 3. Upkeep, we could take a king from deck, or we could look at the top. I think it's 2. Yeah, Jehu. So we can look at the top 2 or take a king from deck. Is it a good king? Yeah, a good king from deck. So we'll look at the top 2 because we know we have all of our heroes out and all of our kings. I mean, we can just Marriage Covenant all over again, but I guess it's the same thing because Faith of Samuel can be... Faith can become Faith of Samuel. David's Heart goes to... Lord Goes Before You. We can play a Territory Class Enhancement. Emmaus Road. We can go to Reserve or deck. I think we just get our first sacrifice ready. Shuffle this back. Reserve this card to take a card with David in the title from deck. I don't think we have anything. Oh, okay. Covenant with David. We like to exchange cards with Moab, so if we're not using them anymore, we can just whoop. And now we can come out with David. And remember, I say remember because I forgot. When David comes out with Harp, it's a lone musician, so you can either draw one or negate an evil card. That negating an evil card is massive. Other than Herod the Great, it can negate the other Herod, and it can negate the Condemned Thief. So because it's if blocked, so it's waiting to be blocked. They block, they do their ability, and then it negates it. So David's Harp is a huge counter to Condemned and potentially Herod's. They have to know which Herod to block with. So now we have initiative, and we do it again. We could also do Lord Goes Before You, but don't do it yet. Play Crowd's Choice, grab Not Your Possession. We could also grab Destroying Bands. So I said I'm just not refined yet. And we can, I believe we still block if blocking. We're not blocking in a side battle. So we would still need something for like reserve access. But really all I care about here, we can do stuff with their hand, like King Eglon, force them to give you an enhancement from their hand. And then really all we want to do is play Not Your Possession. If we're going to lose initiative, like depending on who they have out, usually you're going to take their blocker. So you're going to, Crowd's Choice, get your Not Your Possession. They block, negate an evil card or draw one. Play Lord Goes Before You. King block to Not Your Possession. Hold them off. That's a GG's right there. And then you kill their evil character that blocked. If they banded, good. We want Marriage Covenant. And then it's the exact same thing. They're all in, right? We do the exact same order. This is gone. This is banished. Noah comes in, shuffles. Noah shuffle. Jeremiah. Aminadab. We don't need to activate Zerubbabel. We just need to have him, even if he's not in battle. It doesn't matter. We don't need to put him in battle if we're worried about a grapes. But Zerubbabel, they got to discard. We don't need Hananiah in battle. Elisha, Righteous Seeker. Even though we're discarding a card from their hand and potentially shuffling, we're still bouncing and we don't have a lot in hand. And we could always put down if needed before we attack. So we can Simon, and then we go to Jehu, and then swap to Martha. Boom, 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 boom. Pretty crazy, huh? And if you're worried that they're not going to block you, this deck's really fast. I mean, as you see. So just try to get to that right on. And it does involve music, and David's Harp takes a good enhancement. Oh, well. So try to get to that right on and get back that marriage covenant and just go right on into marriage covenant and just play marriage covenant pre-block. Assuming you shuffled it with Noah. You don't have to. But yeah, so you have stuff to do. That not your possession helps to where you don't need to play defense. You just need to, all right, well, your turn skipped. And then you just kind of chill. So that's one version. Now that I showed that, I can do the other ones quicker. We're going blue, baby. So same thing from a defensive standpoint, just a little less, like I took out Porcupine Fetus. I took out Porcius Festus. So we're going blue. You can still do the Righteous Seeker and all that stuff. I just wanted to focus a little bit more blue on this and kind of see how that looked. So same exact consistency cards to get David. But we also have a way to Abraham into play first. Usually that comes into play turn 2. It gives us another line of attack. And yeah, we lose Martha and Mary, but we go a turn 1 out of their hands. Or if we don't need all that, because we can look at their hand with Jeremiah, we can save out of their hands for turn 2 and get that extra push. We're still doing a Lord Goes Before You. We're still doing we try to shuffle Marriage Covenant, so we try to play Lord Goes Before You, hit them with the Not Your Possession, Marriage Covenant, smack their hand. They don't get to attack next turn. Pretty Rudy Tooty. Awesome. So what do we do with this one? Just blue. It's just blue. Same thing. David comes in. He gets all those heroes. We play a ton of heroes. That's why I was like, I say, what if you get 0 heroes in hand? It's just, not that it's impossible. This is redemption. Highly unlikely. So David comes in. Let's say we have Song of Moses. Let's say we have Marriage Covenant, because we usually do. And what's nice with this one, it gets itself out. And you can take out other heroes. You don't have to hit their hand. You can do like more Genesis stuff. You can bring in Jared. You could also go hero control. Like you can do Jonah, Judas, Akeem, and negate neutrals. Punish them for searching. Punish them for drawing. You can do all that stuff. It's just whatever versions you want. There is a New Testament version. Honestly, I forgot that I had it, but it's Song of Moses with all the GOC stuff, and it's nasty, but it's GOC. It looks like all the other GOC decks, just Song of Moses. So we play Marriage Covenant, and what's nice is Abraham can get out 3 visitors, which gets you another hero, or another patriarch. Benjamin is an exchanger. Isaac card takes a good Genesis card from deck, because more than likely this is turn 1. They don't have an evil card in territory 2 under deck, and usually they're just going to give it to you. I tried to do hand and territory. Sons of Jacob should have been all hand with more stuff. I was new. Give me some grace. This, at minimum, this should have a CBN on it. But yeah, we can take a Genesis card. Benjamin can swap. And if you take a Genesis card, Jacob can then ban. So if you take like a Asher, then you could put Asher in, and then he could play a Son of Jacob as well, so you can just put it back out there. So we have some Sons of Jacob. We always play Malak as one of our 5, and then we like doing the flip it back in, and then of course we have our toss the next, discard an evil card from their hand. So this one doesn't hit their hand as much, but you're getting a Genesis card from deck. You're getting the draw. You're getting the protection. Malak gets a hero. So usually you're not getting so much Sons of Jacob right here. You're just getting one of them, and then they get the rest due to Malak and Joseph can band one in, and they can exchange the other, so you can do some manipulation here. The reserve I've messed around with a lot in this. Jay and I were playing the other week, and he played a couple people with his blue build, and like even if you had territory class protection or territory protection, it doesn't really matter. It's really easy to get around, and so he'll go out and just on a Meek Son of Jacob, which this build doesn't do it, but on a Meek Son of Jacob, he can just play Deceit and Vengeance pre-block, so he can 20 shekels right on Deceit and Vengeance. It's AOC essentially. So it's really cool. So they're all set aside, and then they're all discarded, but it's all evil males in their territory. So it's not bad. I have it in here right now, but I don't think I need it. However, it's really good on a Jacob Abraham play first. So I just set all your guys in battle and all your evil males in territory aside, and then they're all discarded in 3 turns. So I do like doing that. Reserve to Famine, same thing. Like I can get this out from reserve and go straight to play first CBN with Joseph and Abraham. Malak can take an OT hero from deck or reserve. I can bless the nations with Jeremiah, and I can, because I have an angel, I can top deck an evil card. So not bad. It's another Aminadab with Jeremiah. First Sacrifice, keep the pressure on. Royal Parade, just to have another battle winner if needed. So it's just like an extra. If I'm going to have David's Harp and I'm going to push David, might as well have a Royal Parade just to back it up. That's pretty much everything. I can do a quick run through. We'll see if we get it. So remember, we need A Way to David and Song of Moses. However, with this one, we're not super reliant on it because, and you can add Creation of the World. Creation of the World with Abe's Descendant and Bless the Nations, turn 1, and you can use the other Jacob. I don't see it. It's really good. Genesis has so many ways to get their heroes. You can just make a Genesis deck and don't even need to do all this stuff. And just play first, ban everyone in, be protected, have all your heroes out, hit their hand, hit their territory, get all your stuff. It's really good. Reveal to all top. Double check my stars. I just went right into it. Play a good temple from deck. Nope. And look at the top. Look at the bottom 6 and top deck. Definitely want to do that. Reveal to owner the bottom 6. And we get the top deck a good card. Oh. Lawless is just going to send it back. Literally going to send it right back to where it was. And I still want to do Lawless. Just because stuff like this, like getting Crowd's Choice. So what do we have here? If we had to go first, we have a draw 2. We have a band. We have Abraham. Um, we have a way to David with Crowd's Choice, but we don't have Song of Moses. Or we could Crowd's Choice to Song of Moses, but we don't have David. That's okay. I still think we can have a good turn 1 and get a lot of just value going. Because I still have Bless the Nation, so I do want to put down my guys. Because I do want the draw 2, hit their hand, band everyone in off Bless the Nations. Bless the Nation is Good and Evil Brigades in play, so I'm putting down Good and Evil Brigades. I don't want to do Crowd's Choice yet, just because even though I have David Marriage Covenant, I really want to make sure I have Song of Moses correctly, and we still have a good attack here. So I can go out with Abraham, and I can get 3V, and then I can go to a Patriarch from deck reserve or territory. I'm just looking real quick. Like if I go to Benjamin, I protect Lost Souls. I think that's a good move. And then I can exchange. I like the idea of Issachar straight to and out of their hands, but I also have play first. Oh yeah, I have Issachar down. So then they can underdeck an evil card from hand. Don't know if they do. And I still get the band. So they can underdeck an evil card from territory. This is turn 1. So I can take a good Genesis card from deck. I could also take like another hero, like a Malak, because I get the band. So if I don't think I need out of their hands, I can take a Malak and get everything going. So I get to play a Genesis when blocked, and I can play Bless the Nations, and I can ban to up to X human heroes, which is way more than I have. So first I'll convert, I'll draw 2. They got to discard an evil card from hand or territory. I get to draw 2. And then I get to ban to an OT Angel, and I get to take a hero from deck or reserve. I'm definitely taking David because I have Crowd's Choice. So turn 2, I have David, Song of Moses, and all that. I think this wins the battle. I've hit their hand. I have a big band, and I'm protected. That's a lot to get around turn 1. And I don't care that I lost my Bless the Nations. I double check that I didn't play a... Sometimes I get confused if I played Offering Your Son. We play Faith, and we get out probably Jeremiah. Just double checking. Do we want Noah? Take Jeremiah. Whoops, I already shuffled. Might not let me. Yeah. And now I think we're good. If they have hand protection, Unrepentant Moabites is good. They have hand protection, Moabite Camp is not good. So it really just depends on what they have. I don't want to use... You guys haven't said anything all day. I don't want to use Balaam to get out a dominant because I like using him as just a block with Balak. So what I would do, if more than one hero is in battle, you may draw one and bounce a hero. Otherwise, opponent must underdeck 2 cards from hand. They can just underdeck 2 cards from hand. I can die and subdued. I'm good with that. Uh, Definitely gonna Virgin Birth. Reveal to owner, top 6. And what do we want? I don't know. When do we want it? Now. Send to the bottom. Storehouse, upkeep. Don't think we need anything else from there. We weren't going to play any other territory class enhancements. Um, we can reserve this card to take Covenant with David or Throne of David. We'll take Throne just to put it down and play First Sacrifice, underdeck an evil card from their hand. And then we'll go into Crowd's Choice and go to Psalm. And then we'll David flip for... we don't even have... Like, Song of Moses is going to get everyone left in our deck. This is where we could do a Ride On Victoriously. And we can just go right into our band. We don't need, like I said, we don't need to grab another hero if we're going to do Song of Moses, or we can get out of their hands. There's a lot. Oh, I should swap that, swap Son of God out for Daniel also. What is on my mind? Daniel, Son of God. We'll play Song, let them get their 5 heroes. Because next turn, we're going to go into a Not Your Possession. That's 5, which we honestly don't even need them. And then we go into Marriage Covenant. And it's, I mean, that's it. Right? Now we want Benjamin to do the exchange. We keep Jacob out. So what hits first? Let's look at their hand. Toss the next. We'll take an OT hero from reserve. You can take, you can do Abram Slave and Midianite's Army and bring in guys that take heroes from your reserve and exchange and stuff. And you can bring in, you can do Midianite Slave, bring in Abram's Army, and you can hit them that way too. It was just getting real hero heavy in my reserve, and I didn't feel like I needed it. I don't need to do anything there. And where's my 3 visitors? Oh yeah, Isaac or Jacob can draw 2. Now remember, I already did Jeremiah, so 3 visitors can exchange. I was supposed to go to reserve. Sorry, new deck. I was supposed to go to reserve and get out Isaac and do it that way. Just put you in SI with Jeremiah and then Isaac, Noah Shuffle, Benjamin, and Issachar. I can take a good Genesis card from deck. Nothing. I feel like there should be a Genesis Son of God. I really thought about that. If I had more heroes in the reserve, I can do stuff. That's what I was saying. I can play them and exchange them and do all that. Abraham gets back. Oh, no, he doesn't. And then Elliot discards an evil card from their hand. Like I said, all over the place with this deck. But that essentially hits their hand. And that's turn 2. Drop the out of their hands. Kind of go from there. We don't have Lost Souls. Moab. Get out a Moabite. We like block. If we need to block somehow, we can do a Balaam with block, or we can just do a block, Not Your Possession. And we can just die and give it to them. If they created a Lost Soul, we just die and give it to them. Because they just, boom, can't attack. So it's 2 turns. not 2 rounds. So it's my turn, your turn. Essentially, it means you can't attack on your next turn. So we can underdeck a card to draw one. So first we want to do our stars, do all that. I can go through it again. It's the same thing. I could go back to my reserve. I can get Storehouse. You get the Delivered. You get Emmaus Road. You can get star cards. You get here. You can go Storehouse. You can get Lord Goes Before You, or you can get Destroying Bands. And then you could activate David's Heart on David. Get Lord Goes Before You. You can attack, play Lord Goes Before You. I mean, there's a lot you can do. They can't attack next turn, so it's going to be tough for them to really hold this off, especially when you're just given a free turn. So what else? This is a long video. I got one more. This one's a different defense. Something else I'm just toying with. If I can just stop your dominance, get a couple Queen T, like a Queen T Confusion and a DOU, or Queen T Scattered. If I can hit you with Queen T twice, I'm happy. This one's a little different. It's gold silver. Less ways. It's not as consistent, but it doesn't have to be. It's still just a good offense. I'm not going to play this one all the way through. I'm not going to simulate it. I'm just going to show you what we're doing. Same thing, Song of Moses, but no David. We're not trying to do all the Davidness. What we are trying to do is get like New Covenant and to consider the lilies. And exchange this card for Song of Moses. Shout out to Jaden. I was trying to do I Am Refuge. I just didn't really have a lot of good targets. And Jaden was like, I just think Consider the Lilies would be better and more consistent. A lot of low initiative heroes. I can come out and just Consider the Lilies into Song of Moses. But I need Talitha Come. This is not as consistent, but it does pack a crazy, crazy punch. Let's say I have the pieces. We'll come out with Repentant Thief. Reserve an evil enhancement from their deck. Play Song of Moses. So what we try to do is Citizens of Sychar, Jairus' daughter, Zacchaeus, Legion of Angels is nice. We're always going to have some sort of heroes down. Like we always will. I do heavy hero builds for these 3 versions specifically. And then we'll try to do like some other hero. Ideally, we have Mag Multitude down in territory, or Gabriel, one or the other, down. And like a Watchful Servant. So what I like to do is search my deck for 5. I'm sorry, I meant have Thankful Leper down. I like to search my deck for 5. And first thing is I'll go Citizens of Sychar. I will play Sychar from deck. And I'll bring in Jairus' daughter. I'll top decker to toss. I'll Zacchaeus. So I reserve you in top deck. That's a draw 1 for me. And I already reserved an enhancement from your deck. Now I reserved your evil character, your best enhancement. I like to do Legion of Angels with a hero or 2 down to get the protection. This is pretty much just Malak, but in this build. So protect your gospel heroes from lone evil characters. Zacchaeus usually ensures that they're lone. You have to have a 3 evil character band. So you could do it, but usually this is early on. This isn't like a turn 1 explosion deck. This is, hey, I got a couple decent attacks here and there. I'm kind of getting some pieces out, and then it hits you. And then I reserve the bottom card of your deck again. So I get to draw 1. And then I get to ban to unique. Citizens also gets to ban to a different Samaritan. I can band a Thankful Leper. I get to look at the top, reserve the best evil one I see. I like having something else out there for Watchful Servant, to where he could also band. So, like, ideally, Faithful Servant would be in the band, and like Zacchaeus would be in territory, and then I'd bring in Zacchaeus, and Faithful Servant would protect Lost Souls and reserve an evil enhancement. I'm trying to max out the Psychar. I take 4 from your deck. I get to draw 4. I reserved your best evil enhancement. I reserved your evil character in battle. I drew off Legion. I drew off Psychar. If you have evil characters in battle with Legion, I'll take them. Like, I can bring Legion in first. And it's wall 2. I could take a good dominant, and then I can bring in Jarius' daughter and Zacchaeus. If I need to get rid of your banding, I can bring in Gabriel to negate it, and he can band a Legion. So you're just trying to ban. It bans up to 5. It's not any number. This one bans up to 5. That was originally because even though the others banned any number, New Testament Gold or Gospel Gold, when we first were making it, it was crazy. And this was before territory class, 1 territory class. This was before the 4 activation rule. So we were doing everything we could as playtesters to get Psychar down turn 1, and we were reserving 20 cards from your deck and just drawing. We were maxing out our hand off reserving. So we were going to 16, and you were going down 8 to 10 cards. And we were just, it was a lot. So a couple things had to be tweaked. But yeah, either way, I think I think New Testament Gold is really good. They have some of the best enhancements in the game. However, Nativity and Clay are just a little better. So people gravitate towards that and don't really give Gold a look. But it's really good. So we have 2 Balkane for a couple shenanigans with like Stocks and Writ and Madness. I don't need all these artifacts. I thought I had a way to one of them. Yeah, no, I don't. I thought I had the other one that took an NT artifact from reserve. I do. Okay, so I usually use Lost Coin Found to snag an Unholy Writ. It's really good. Writ is really good. Mary has to target Unholy Writ, and that means you keep your other characters down. And even if she reserves it, it's okay. Bartimaeus can just get back meeting the Messiah, so I can kind of play like a little mind game there, just keep her at bay. But 2 Balkane can go into this kind of stuff. Like if I have a different artifact active, and then I come out with 2 ball, go to Stocks, it's good, especially with some of these offenses that are really reliant on a few heroes. Get rid of them. But yeah, so I love Queen T, and Queen T with a Scattered, or Queen T with a Confusion. Even if she dies, go to Necromancer and get her back for once. Y'all, you can discard 10 cards from their deck. It is wild, and they can't stop it. I think Babooni knows how good she is, because he is running Crowds. He's running Stable. He's running Storehouse. Y'all, she is one of the strongest cards ever printed. So she's only that strong because decks like this and, 6 to 8 brigades, it's all over the place. So yeah, it's really good. I love getting a block with her with DOU. A block with her where you're negating their protection, dropping a Confusion, and dying. You're giving up a Lost Soul, you're discarding top X of their deck, and you're getting rid of their Son of God. Not bad. And then I come in with Necromancer. I get another one and then play Scattered or DOU. Y'all, what are we doing? So, yeah, this is the Gold Silver. I like it. It's a lot of consistency pieces. I don't know about Annunciation. I still go back and forth on it. But Angelic Guidance can get Song of Moses. New Covenant can get Angelic Guidance. And Consider the Lilies. Consider Lilies can get Song of Moses. Fruit of the Land looks at the top 7 and takes up to 1 good card. Not Old Testament. Probably should have put that on there, but that's fine. Just a consistency piece for gold. I'm fine with that. Amazing Faith is awesome. So you still have stuff you can do. And then if you go into the Angel Party and the Good Seed, like their deck's reserved. You just drop Angel Party if you're not getting this early enough and you only have like 3 Lost Souls. Their deck's going to be empty between Queen T and all the reserve you're doing. I only reserved a little off this band because I just showed you like if theoretically we get it early, because mostly Talitha Come is a band 5, but we're banding in like Gabriel, negate and band to another, Watchful Servant, reserve and band to another, Citizens of Sychar, reserve and band to another. Gabriel also reserves an evil card from their deck, so sometimes we don't need to band and we can just go straight. If we don't need Legion of Angels, we can just go straight into a Gabriel, negate, reserve an evil card. Watchful Servant. So of course we have the Vain Philosophy trick where we can try to target their best dominant in their hand and then reserve the bottom card of a deck and reserve a bottom card of a deck. So we Vain Philosophy when we attack, see what their hand is, underdeck hopefully their Son of God, and we want a Confusion their Second Coming or vice versa. Come in with this, and we're reserving a ton of cards. We're also reserving key cards from their deck, not just quality. We're doing both quantity and quality. So I hope y'all enjoyed. I've been making all these decks, testing them. They're pretty refined, and they're pretty crazy. So I put them all on Discord. I'll post the video. I know it's lengthy. You can kind of jump around and see what I'm going through. It all has the same concept of using Song of Moses for a turn 1. Just hit their hand, hit their deck, have this massive attack. You can do this in Priests. Priest is really good because you can drop a Himalek, and you're kind of doing this with Priest on turn 2, and you're going into Priest, and it's just reserve everything, draw 4, pull everything back out with your heroes. Everyone's protected, and you can flip up Pot of Mana. So the Priest version is very good. Or you can flip up Holy of Holies. Like, there's a lot of stuff you can do with Zadok, the teal red, where you're just going to your Tabernacle artifacts, and you're setting up some crazy board states with CBN protection on Aaron's staff. You're going into battle, and it's like, boom, I've got 7-8 Tabernacle Priests, and you're looking at their top 7 or 8. Aaron Staff, see ya. Lost Souls are down, discarding an evil card, CBN protection, Phineas's Spear. It's that version's really good. I don't have time to show everything. I messed around with Wilderness. I liked this version better. I know, blasphemy for me to say that. So yeah, it's green. I have a green version and a GOC version. So you can do anything with this. Silver. You can take all the consistency pieces for Song of Moses with all the mass banding, put them in. The only thing I don't think Joshua needs it, but you can insert this Song of Moses package into anything and hit their hand, hit their deck, do whatever you want, draw a ton of cards. So it's really fun. I kind of think people should look at what's the best Song of Moses attack turn 1. I do think it might just be white with a little bit of mix of stuff with Brothers Conflict. You get them, and then turn 2, you go into a side battle and you play like a Great Image. I think that stuff's really, really good. They're all happy. They got their heroes. It's the end of their turn. They put them down. You side battle, kill them all, or capture them and play Not Your Possession. There's a lot of ways to use Song of Moses to your advantage defensively. So I hope you enjoyed all these videos. I know I was on a long hiatus from videos, but I've been doing other stuff for the game. Hope you enjoyed. I've been talking forever. Glad I got my 100th video, and it was a long one, probably 100 minutes. So thank you all. See you next time.